All right, well, here we are.
That would explain why it was so hard to open with a beer bottle opener.
Here we are at Sequel Podcast. I am Matthew Bonta.
And I am Cory Easley.
And we are here with our end of the year podcast.
The last one. Silver Eagles.
Yeah, that's a silver dollar.
It's more than that. It's a full ounce of 99% pure silver.
Is it?
Yes, it is. It's worth about $25 to $30.
Bullshit.
Can I have it?
No.
I'm just saying it is.
Bullshit.
I swear to Christ, look it up.
Rose got that. She's gotten a couple.
From where?
People tip whatever they tip when she gets tipped.
That's $25.
Bullshit.
You might even be able to get more than that for it, depending on the price of silver.
Are you sure that... Well, no, what's the...
I know that's exactly what it is. Knew what it was when I saw it on the... Don't fucking argue with me.
This is from 2014.
It doesn't matter.
Why would they give out a silver dollar a couple years ago?
They don't. This is a special bullion coin. It's made by the U.S. Mint.
You sound like you work there.
I just know shit about it.
Anyways, so we're here to talk.
We are here to talk. We're here to cover the so-called list of... Dude, I fucking literally laughed out loud in my car by myself when I looked at your list, and I was...
At the
list of movies that... The end of year list.
You have it on your phone because I can't find it.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up here. But when I was reading through the list, I was like, "Yep, didn't see that. Didn't see that."
Is that why you were laughing? Because you didn't see anything?
No, I saw almost every comic book themed movie.
But that was it.
And very few others, which I don't know
how you'll be able to chime in on
a whole
lot.
It
would be
stuff.
nice if you watched some movies occasionally.
It would be nice if I didn't have to work 10 hours a day.
I mean, at least like once a week, even.
I have... Well, this week was a bad example.
Like, I mean, you could even put on a movie for like 15 minutes, and then the next day another 15 minutes. You could serialize.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff on here that I really wanted to see.
And that's not even a complete list. That's just a complete list of what I watched.
Right.
So I didn't even put the ones on there that I didn't see.
Yeah. Apparently you have too much time on your hands.
I like to go to the movies at least once a week, and sometimes we'll sit there and we'll go in on like a Friday and be there and watch 3 movies.
That's a trip. Do you pay for 3 movies?
No.
Cheaters.
Oh, come on, dude.
You hear that, Fandango? Dotson! We've got Dotson here!
Well, Fandango doesn't even give a fuck if we walk in and pay.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. But I mean,
wow, you saw all this shit. I mean, I guess it's over.
And you know, some of those also I did not see in theaters.
Right. Well, I didn't see all of them in theater either.
So I mean, you know, I got to pick up on home video, as they say.
Sure. That's usually how I see things because I can't afford to go to the movies.
Send that to me.
Right now?
Yeah, send that to me. Send me that list so we can both look at the list together.
Right. Use your phone to look that coin up and tell me I'm full of shit.
What would I enter?
Just look up...
Silver dollar.
American Silver Eagle.
American Silver Eagle. Price. $21. This one says $21 for 2016, but this one right here says $5.55.
That's not true. What's the email address? There it is. Never mind, I can see it.
This is for 2007. Does it say 10 ounces on here?
It's not 10 ounces. It's
1 ounce. 1 ounce. Sorry, that O looks like a 0. Yeah, this one says it's only $5.55. I can buy it right now. Add to cart.
You can buy it for 20.
And it says per sheet of 6 too.
American Eagle Silver Dollar pack of 6.
Classic round sticker. Is it
stickers? Those are stickers.
Those are stickers.
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck you, dude.
was like, you better fucking buy a whole shitload of that right now. Woo! All right. Should be incoming soon enough.
Okay. So, Cory, will I be seeing you on Saturday night?
Yes, you will. We're going to party hardy. I don't know if that's true or not, but...
I hope we can party hardy.
Who else coming over?
I think it's gonna be a bare minimum party. What?
As in... Wes and...
Martina. And beyond that, I would be surprised
if anybody else shows up.
Alex might be here. Luis said he would come. Both Luises.
Both Luises. The Luises is
my sisters, Varia, and Dakota says he was good. So maybe Dakota and Nicole.
That would be nice.
So, I mean, I guess that's not a really bare minimum situation, is it?
No, I mean, you start getting up over...
But I also got those people that are like, oh, I'm not going to be able to make it anymore.
Right.
Which
is bull honky.
And I've got... and we're going to do the gift exchange. Did you get a gift?
I did. Exchange? We actually got two. One for the old lady and one for me.
Yeah. Is she excited?
She is.
Yeah.
She likes... she enjoys a good...
Will she be imbibing in any alcoholic beverages?
Probably. She'll probably have a few.
I think in lieu of champagne at midnight, we'll do PBR since I have so much of it. Everybody crack open a can of PBR.
We're going to shotgun PBRs.
What is it where you fucking poke the hole? Is that shotgun?
Yeah, that's where you poke a hole in the bottom with a pocket knife. And then you...
Everybody grab a pen.
You put the hole up to your face and then you open the top.
And then you open the top.
And then it just... Yeah, it's kind of like... Ghetto beer bong.
Ghetto beer bong. So, alright. Let's dive right in since we're getting started late because we were trying to dick around with the...
Yeah, we're trying to dick with the new sound system that Matthew is so diligently trying to put together with little luck.
You know what I would like to do with you?
Do tell.
I've seen some videos on the interwebs.
Wow, this is getting freaky deaky in here.
Where people are like, oh, build a really cool gaming table for like $150. Now, that gaming table that guy built for like $150 is amazing. But it's way more than I need or want. He built it to where there's a hole, or there's a spot in the table where you can put a flat screen TV for like Dungeons and Dragons and putting the map up on the screen.
Oh, wow.
But it's like a big long table like that, maybe even a little bit bigger. But I'm thinking I want like a
smaller...
Like a round poker table.
Right.
So that you can get the speakers or the microphones and you got people sitting in a circle, you know, like King Arthur, you know.
Yeah, Arthur on the
round table. No one sits at the head of the table, you know, because everyone's going to want to, so it's a round table. But, you know, like a round... You can maybe get like 6 people in there, like a poker table.
Sure.
You felt it. And there'll be
cup holders
and, you know,
nacho platter for the center. Or maybe we could put like a rotating ring, like a track,
like a Lazy Susan,
a track on the outside, and then you could like put something on a carrier on the track, and then the track could be pushed around, so you could like
spin it.
Yeah, you could like push it around the table, like for snacks, you know.
That's an interesting
fill
idea.
It with tamales, you know, or something. I don't know. Or make a rotating table under the table so that there's like a hole, and then it rotates around, and then there's like different snacks in there.
Sounds good to me. But that's what I was thinking for the next step in the setup of the podcasting studio would be
a place,
like a place to sit down and podcast.
Sure.
The only problem, and it's not really a problem, but it would just be something you need to figure out, or, you know, one would need to figure out, is like the placement of the computer. Sure. Now, I know on Tell 'em Steve Dave, which is my podcast that I listen to, which we also borrowed the Four Color Demons patch from.
Right.
They have at the Jay and Silent Bob Secret Stash in New Jersey, they have what is it that they podcast on? I think they podcast on like a felt table also, like a felt, but it's long table like that. It's not a round table. So they probably have the computer like on a long table. It's fine. The computer can go at the end or whatever. But in a round table, the placement of the monitor would be kind of awkward. So maybe we would have to downgrade,
right,
and put a slot in for like a laptop.
Sure.
Which then you'd have to buy like another computer, which I don't really want to do. Like this laptop that I have is not built for podcasting purposes,
right?
And which we have podcasted on.
We have done that,
but as far as like with this computer, we podcast, it stays there. With the laptop, it would have to go from the laptop to the computer, and it's just too many steps,
right?
Unless the soundboard. So then we can run the soundboard to a computer somewhere else, I'm assuming.
Right, and that would be the ideal setup is to get the board working so that we have audio control at the table, and then the output to the computer is its own thing.
Right, we just hit record, and then we sit down and we talk.
And they make digital recorders that are expensive that would be nice to have for filmmaking that you could also use for the same purpose.
Right.
And then you could be set up to podcast anywhere.
Did you read those notes that I sent you?
I didn't get too far into it because I wanted to put some. I thought we were going to sit down and talk about it, you and I. Not obviously.
Well,
on
I mean,
the podcast,
you could sit and read it and start developing ideas.
Sure.
But like, I needed to get it down before I lost
absolutely.
it.
Oh, that's the best thing to do is to get things out.
And I didn't want to sit down and write it with my shitty handwriting and then text you a picture of my shitty handwriting, so I sent it in an email.
Thank you for typing it.
So keep it.
Because I can't read your fucking handwriting.
I can barely read it sometimes. So anyways, diving right in. So I watched all of these movies, and I didn't really come up with a top 10 because I'm looking at all these and I'm like, well, I liked a bunch of them.
Right.
Not too many of them I liked like a shit ton more than the rest. But I can pick out a couple. So I'm looking at these action movies. You got 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. That's the Michael Bay film.
Right.
Which was a decent action movie. Okay. I'll give it that. Had a lot of cool explosions. The end scene was really cool. Like, and you know, when I say cool, is it disrespectful to the people that went through this?
Because it was made into a screenplay, I'm going to say it would not be unfair to describe the movie as cool. It's like, it's okay, anybody ever see, I don't know, Saving Private Ryan and think that the battle scenes were cool?
Right.
You know, World War II was horrible.
Right.
There are a lot of things that depict true events that were horrible things that when tailored for entertainment, they look cool. You have to expect that it's going to look cool. And yeah, it's sad.
So
that some of that shit actually happened.
Well, like in 13 Hours, do you see 13 Hours?
I've not.
That is one of the ones on the list that you have not seen. There's a part at the end when like you think these guys, you got like a couple of guys on like maybe 5 different roofs, if that, and they're able to hold down the fort. They're able to keep shit real.
Right.
And you think that they're going to make... You're like, hell yeah, these guys are badasses. And they're showing that they're badasses by not dying.
Right.
And then they start dying.
Right.
And it's almost like one right after the other. And one guy's got his arm hanging off by like the tendon.
Gross.
Like it's still on there and it's just hanging. They don't bother to rip it off. I think they made it seem as if they sewed it back on and the guy was, you know, got to keep his arm.
Right.
But I mean, it's a pretty cool action movie as far as action movies go. But it's not like a super fucking deep movie. It's
pretty.
It's about a situation where these guys were in like a siege kind of situation, and you know, I love siege movies. Not this one in particular, but I mean, it was still cool.
Yeah.
Finest Hours is another one of those like Disney's gonna make a true story movie about some triumph.
Right.
Which is what it is. And once again, like, I'm not trying to take away from the real situation.
Right. Well, that's not the point of the movie either. It's to
entertain.
It's been turned into entertainment. Even as much as it's been turned into telling the story of what happened. But if it were a documentary about what happened, it would be a different story. But it's not.
Right. So I'm not like watching the documentary about how the Catholic priests are having their way with their choir boys and thinking that was a cool movie.
Right.
So
you went in a gross direction with that.
But I mean, it's the extreme.
Billy Bob's disappointed in that comment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So now we've got Billy Bob Thornton looking over our proceedings here at Sequel Podcast.
I actually like it. It's nice. It's like, hey, Billy Bob.
You know, at that, cause I told you about the gift situation.
Right. You said that.
She laughed her ass off, and
That's
then
good.
she got to see the Journey tickets. So
nice. So she was happy with that.
She thought it was funny.
Because
I recorded it because
your
she
wife
opens it.
hates Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh yeah, she hates Billy Bob Thornton.
Just totally does not like.
Totally does not like Billy Bob Thornton
in any way.
In any way. My apologies to Billy Bob Thornton, who I do enjoy thoroughly.
I like Billy Bob Thornton. That's why he's cool with me.
But Finest Hours, once again, is the Disney's, like, I'm pretty sure it's a Disney film where they're like, we're going to take a true story and turn it into a cool movie for people to watch. It's got Captain Kirk in it. And when I say Captain Kirk, I don't mean William Shatner. Come on, people.
I shouldn't say is he still alive because a lot of people died recently.
Oh, I know. We've still got a few days left. He could be next.
I don't know.
Can you believe that shit? Carrie Fisher and George Michael?
George Michaels, yeah.
And then the guy that wrote Watership Down, also, for those in the know. Do you know Watership Down?
I don't.
You never saw that movie?
No.
I mean, he wrote the book, but it's an animated film.
Okay.
About a bunch of rabbits. It's pretty dark material. Right. Like, it's an older animated film, but
gotcha. A lot of the older animated films are dark.
Well, I mean, this goes darker than even Disney was willing to go. So, like, because there's blood and shit in it, and these rabbits are getting killed off, not unlike the secret soldiers of Benghazi.
Now the Benghazi soldiers are rabbits.
Oh my god, that would be an amazing movie. Like, fuck, dude.
The finest 13 hours of the rabbits of Benghazi.
Holy shit. I think we're onto something. But anyways, Finest Hours was also... It got me in the feels where it was supposed to get me, but it wasn't like... if it gets nominated for like Best Picture or something, I'd be surprised. Because it's by the book. It's cookie cutter.
No, it's not.
Cookie cutter, true life, heroism.
Right.
Disney type story.
And it's not necessarily off the chart. It just is that.
Yeah, it's just that. You see a movie about a bunch of guys in a little tiny boat going to pick up a huge fucking steamer ship's worth of people. And the fat guy dies. He's the one guy that they don't get.
That's pretty typical, though, because nobody respects a fat guy.
Like, if they would have picked him up, there'd be like 5 guys that they couldn't take then. So they're like, well, let's get rid of the fat guy. Like, literally, like, you're watching, like, how are they going to get that fat guy on there? And it's like, oh, they're going to kill him off. So he's the one guy! And he's like the annoying cook. He's like singing an annoying song the entire movie.
Well, he deserved to die then.
Oh my god, so fucking stupid.
My apologies to the family of the actual guy that died.
If that's how it actually happened.
You never know.
But it's fucked up the way they put everybody, like, I don't want to say that that's not how it was, but if that's literally how it was, and they actually pulled that off, then fucking hats off to them, but once again, I feel bad for taking away from it, but it couldn't have been that bad. I don't think that no one would have been able to make it.
I think that the story, because this was a Coast Guard rescue of the Titanic or something else.
It's not the Titanic, but it's a big steamer ship where you got a crew of guys.
Okay, so...
And the ship breaks in half.
The Titanic broke in half.
The Titanic broke in half, but, like, this one breaks in half and they're still, like, floating.
Okay.
Like, the guy's out there and he's like, he sees the other half of the ship just go bye-bye.
What I understand, my stepdad was telling me about this.
Grafton,
yes. And...
Sue Grafton.
No, not the same guy.
No relation.
No relation. So, apparently there was more than one rescue ship, boat. There was a couple boats. A few boats in different areas that were doing the same kind of rescue mission.
Yeah, they talk about that.
They talk about it, but it's not like the main focus of
because there was a couple of boats out there.
Right.
And Captain Kirk was like, Scotty, we gotta go.
We just can't do it, Captain. The fat guy's got to go. Throw his ass overboard.
Oh, fuck, dude.
And we lost Scotty. No, we lost
Spock.
Spock.
We lost Spock this year.
Well, yeah, we lost the actual real
Leonard Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy Spock.
The original Spock. Come on, people.
From the new crew, we lost. Was that last year?
Oh no, we did. We lost Anton Yelchin. We lost Chekhov.
Chekhov.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is it's tough.
That was fucked up.
I mean, yeah, it's fucking awful.
Got smashed by his car.
Yeah, he got it.
Did we talk about this?
Yeah, we did. We talked about it.
On here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked. It was about this time last year.
No, that happened this year.
I know, but just after. I mean, this time of year, like wintertime. Because we haven't podcasted in like 8 months.
Right.
Since before recent time.
So did we talk about it on the podcast?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. Anyways, he was smashed by his car. Had a recall on that particular model for being a car that
could smash you.
That did not. Yeah. What is it? When it rolls.
Parking brake.
The parking brake didn't work.
Obviously not.
Not to make light of the event. Once again, if we're how many true stories are on here? Deadpool. Oh boy. But yeah, Finest Hours was fine. It wasn't the worst out of this list. There is a worst in this list that I can give. You know, like if we're going on a scale of 1 to 100, and most of these movies fit in like the 50 to 80 range.
Right.
At the bottom of this list is Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, which was terrible.
Was it that bad?
Like I read the other book for the first movie and then watched the movie. Werner Herzog, people, the bad guy. And then when I saw this one coming out, it's like, okay, I'll read this book too. Almost completely different stories, the book and the movie.
Really?
Yes.
That's sad.
Like the book is pretty straightforward. Like, and these aren't like fucking.
They're not real deep novels.
No, they're not deep novels. It's a guy that's a badass. He comes in, he's
Whips
a badass, and saves the day.
I like to call it brain drivel. Like, it's like junk food for your brain.
Sure.
It's easy to read. You can burn through it in about a day
quick,
or so.
Probably 3 days.
Yeah. Depending on how often you read throughout the day, or how often you read throughout
how fast
the week.
you can read too.
Yeah, I mean, I can burn a book in a day and a half that's not deep.
Right.
You know, basically.
We're not talking about Game of Thrones here.
I've never
1,000-page books that are full of diverse characters.
Sure.
But this, the movie was pretty bad.
But was it mostly just action centered? Like, Tom Cruise comes in, he blows shit up, he shoots people, he punches people in the face, he breaks shit.
Yeah, but if they would have done the stuff that was in the book, it would be far more interesting.
Yeah.
Like, and you know what? Like, I can't even remember too much about the movie, but there's this aspect where maybe he got some chick pregnant and he never knew, so he's got a kid that he's kind of got to, like, is on his mind.
Right.
And in the book, he kind of hooks up with her at the end and figures that situation out at the end. In the movie, they threw her right up front, and so you've got this annoying ass fucking bratty kid the entire movie.
Which we totally didn't need.
Oh my god, didn't need.
It sounds awful.
It's pretty awful. Like, if you watch the trailer, it's more faithful than the actual film was to the book.
That's really bad.
Like, you watch it and you're like, oh, here's the part where he's on the plane and he takes care of these two guys. Like, you see that there.
Right.
And then you watch the movie and it's like, well, I guess those were the only parts that were in the book. But that's the worst of the bunch of these action films. Now, The Nice Guys I called an action film, but it's kind of a comedy. It's kind of a crime, which, like, it's really hard to fit that in there. So I put it with action.
Right.
But really, it's more of like a funny movie. But I mean, it's by Shane Black, who did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Lethal Weapon, so it's a buddy movie, just like both of those films are.
Right.
But it was really funny. In fact, out of this, I would say that The Nice Guys is probably the best of the bunch here.
Really? Out of all the action films, even out above Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne was also another one that was kind of boring.
It was kind of depressing over what it should have been.
I don't really know what it should have been. But it wasn't I guess it wasn't what it should have been without me even knowing what it should have been,
yeah.
but it could have been a little bit more. It's like they just made it because it's been a couple years. Who haven't we seen in a while? What's Matty Damon up to? Why don't we do another Jason Bourne
Matt Damon.
So, like, it's just like the Jack Reacher. It's like, well, let's do another one because people know what it is and it'll make money.
It makes money, yeah.
So Jason Bourne was not all that fantastic. And it had Tommy Lee Jones in it just to kind of have Tommy Lee Jones in it. Like the previous films all have like an older actor character.
Right.
But, yeah. And Legend of Tarzan I thought was fantastic. But that's coming from somebody who's read the books, likes all the other movies and stuff. Not necessarily likes all of them, but...
You like the cartoon version. Disney version.
You know, that's also not the worst adaptation.
It's not.
Like, they even went a little bit darker.
They did. Well, I mean, the premise of what's going on in that story is generally dark.
Well, like, no, they went a little bit darker with, like, the villain character in comparison to the book.
Right.
Like, the book, which can be whatever it wants to be and be as dark as it wants to be, especially when it was written. And then in the cartoon, like, they made that bad guy, like... a really bad guy, right. Where he's not really a bad guy in the book. And he was kind of crazy and scary.
So they kind of went the extra mile with darkening him up.
In the Disney's Tarzan.
In the Disney film.
I'm not sure if this Legend of Tarzan is Disney or not, but it was...
I actually think it is. Bill Murray is in that one.
No, Bill Murray's in the Jungle Book.
I get those two mixed up.
Is that even on this list?
No.
Hold on, wait. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, but Legend of Tarzan, without actually being a direct adaptation of one of the books, it's still more faithful to the characters and the way they are, which is what I loved about it. Is like, it might not be a direct adaptation of one of the books, but it easily could have been. Who knows? There's like 20, 30 books, and I haven't read all of them, so maybe it's a lot like one of them, but... it seems to have taken the aspects of all those books and made a really good Tarzan movie. So that's the action film. So the best of the bunch, Nice Guys, which is kind of a cheat because it doesn't fall into
not necessarily
100% action.
Directly an action film.
And then the worst is Jack Reacher.
Wow.
Then we got two Westerns, at least two Westerns this year that I saw. Jane Got a Gun and Magnificent Seven. Magnificent Seven, which is kind of like... an action film, basically. Okay. And Jane Got a Gun, which is more of a slow burn kind of drama action. Like, Jane Got a Gun is basically 13 hours in the Old West. But Jane Got a Gun was really, really good as far as good acting, good drama, kind of, I don't know how low budget it was, but it's kind of like a low budgety type of movie.
Right.
And Magnificent Seven is a much higher budgeted kind of movie with themes that are really out there, but getting all those guys together was really fun. And all of the spoiler alert, all of the minorities in that movie are the ones who live. So all the white guys die, but the Mexican, the Indian, and the black guy live.
As well it should be.
Back in the Old West. But Chris Pratt was really good in that. Denzel's good, of course, but he's Denzel.
He's Denzel. He's good in everything. I think I heard on the radio the other day that he's like 50, almost 60 years old.
Probably. But he doesn't show it.
No, he looks good. Unless
they make him do him up to look older.
They can make him look old, but yeah.
So the kids' movies, I'm just going to jump in and say that out of all these, my favorite... Now look, so previously I saw all those other movies in theaters. As far as the kids' movies go, The Little Prince I watched on Netflix. Because a coworker told me to watch it, so I was like, fine, I'll watch it. So I don't know if that was a theatrical here or somewhere else.
Right.
Because I think it might be a foreign movie. But out of these, there are two really good ones, and that's Zootopia and Kubo. Kubo is very atmospheric and really good looking. And it's a pretty good movie, too. And then Zootopia...
Which I did see.
You saw Zootopia?
I did see that one.
I know it's got some good themes in there, and it looks like a kid's movie, which it is, but it's a little bit fluffier than Kubo was. Kubo's very dark.
Right.
Zootopia is very bright, but it's got some good themes in there that I really, really liked.
I like that the world the movie exists in has some depth to it. It's not just this little, excerpt of
cartoon animals.
Yeah, it's not just that. Like they try to expand it out and really make it a universe of its own.
Right.
Which I thought was very interesting, very deep for a kids movie.
Absolutely.
To have that kind of depth overall in the story. And backstory.
And it's got some good themes, like about like not being a dick to people, being like prejudiced against others.
I think
like that's the theme.
Prejudice is like the biggest message in that whole
because
film.
The wild animals are going wild, and they're like, "Can we trust these wild animals?" It's like throw the blacks in jail.
Yeah, throw all the niggers in jail and let all the white people run everything. That's right, people. I said nigger on the radio.
On the radio,
but it's the internet radio, so I can say what the fuck I want.
Lowest rated episode ever.
Because I said that?
This is the last episode.
But, yeah, and I think it was super cute.
Did you see any of these other ones? How many of these movies have you seen? Did you see any of the action movies?
The ones we just went over? No.
Yeah.
I did not see any of those.
You didn't see either of the Westerns? Magnificent Seven's out now on video. You saw Finding
A lot of these movies are on the list. All the stuff that I would like to see.
This is a wish list that I sent you.
Yeah, you sent all the movies that I should see.
You saw Finding Dory. Finding Dory was kind of like, it was what it was.
It was.
The best part is the seals. Idris Elba does the voice for one of those seals when they're yelling at Gerald.
Yeah, and I mean
Gerald.
It's another Finding Nemo kids movie type thing.
Right.
And it's the same kind of shit.
Sigourney Weaver.
Why don't you have Sigourney Weaver make you a meatloaf?
What is that? Is that from Finding Dory?
No, it's from fucking Jeff Foxworthy.
Oh. So you saw Finding Dory and that's it? And Zootopia? Didn't see Jungle Book? Which was pretty good.
Yeah, I wanted to, like I said, it's on the list.
Idris Elba is also in that. He plays the Shere Khan. He plays the tiger. He's the bad guy in that. You know who Idris Elba is, right?
I can't picture.
Tall black guy. British.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about now?
I can look him up.
He's the bad guy in Star Trek Beyond.
Yes. Now I can see his face.
Even though he's got makeup on in that movie.
Yeah, except for like the last.
The very last, like
5 minutes.
Even then,
or 10 minutes.
He's still kind of got some burn makeup looking things.
Yeah.
So, all right, comic book movies. Right up front, the best of these would probably either be Captain America or Doctor Strange.
Really?
As far as depth goes.
Sure.
And the worst of this is probably a tie between Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Batman vs. Superman. Two movies that could have been so much more.
I always go to the movies with the intent to enjoy the movie, whether I think the story's bad or not.
Oh, so do I. Like, I loved Batman and Superman when I watched it in Japan.
I thought it was cool. I mean, it was a cool.
But then after a while, it sits with you, and it's like, oh god, it's got money.
It wasn't been that great, and it could have been better, and it could have done this and that. So yeah, Batman, Superman, I think I find at the bottom of my list.
Deadpool's the top of your list.
I like to have Deadpool, and the only one of these I haven't seen is Suicide Squad, which makes me sad because I really, really wanted to see that in the theater.
I'll put that because I got it.
Did you get it?
I haven't put it on the Vudu yet.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and put that on the Vudu.
Sweet. Yeah, I'd put Doctor Strange at the top of the list too.
It was really good. Even though, but we've talked at length about superhero movies already this year. But so that's that.
Of those, yeah.
All right, the science fiction films.
Of which I've seen one.
Midnight Special should be on the Vudu.
Two.
Did you see Midnight Special?
No. That
should be on the Vudu. Once again, that I saw on video. The rest I saw in theaters. Worst.
10 Cloverfield looked creepy as fuck. Like, it looked like they took the idea of Cloverfield, the original Cloverfield, and then turned it into a fucking horror movie.
Well, what J.J. Abrams said was that it's a blood relative to Cloverfield.
Right.
Now, Cloverfield, as we all know, is a found footage movie about
alien invasion,
I guess,
kind of thing.
It's up for debate what happens, whether there's a satellite that crashes into the ocean
and wakes something
up. Maybe something that was from outer space already.
What do they call those things in Pacific Rim?
Kaiju, which is Japanese for monster.
Right.
Which is what Godzilla is kaiju. Godzilla! But most of that movie is there are no aliens in it.
Right.
Most of that movie is about John Goodman being a creepy guy.
And that's what it looks like.
Which is what it is. And it's her trying to get out of there. But, like, it's that whole situation where this dude is legit about what he's saying and what he's doing. But he's a fanatic. So he's way out there and he's way crazy. And then when she escapes is when you see the aliens. Okay. And they're not the same aliens from Cloverfield. Which is why J.J. Abrams called it a blood relative, because it's like...
They use the star power of an existing movie.
But that's the thing, is like, the movie doesn't take place... Like, the movie's... The sequel has moved on, because Cloverfield is from like 2007 or 8.
Right, it's old as fuck.
I think it's from 2008. Early 2008. So it's been a whole 8 years since we've thought about Cloverfield.
Right.
So they put this out, and they're like, oh, 10 Cloverfield Lane? Is that got anything to do with Cloverfield? Oh, my God. So, I mean, legitimately, it could have taken place at the same time, but they've updated it. They're like, well, we want to put in a different-looking alien. Maybe the aliens have come back. So they are definitely completely different aliens. There's not a giant alien in it. There's, like, these weird kind of vacuum-sucking kind of, like Charybdis. Do you know what Charybdis is? Charybdis from the Odyssey. Where it's like got a million teeth and it's sucking things in the ocean.
Oh yeah.
It's got like a little kind of
sand monster from Star Wars.
Sure,
What the fuck do they call that thing?
The Sarlacc.
Yeah.
So it's like the Sarlacc pit, but well, that's what the Charybdis is in that. But these creatures, they kind of have a mouth kind of like that, and they do fly around in a little ship. And they've got a little thing where she like destroys the ship, not unlike in Independence Day, which is the worst of this sci-fi.
San Francisco. It's worst of this San Francisco butt rape bullshit.
But yeah, no, that's what 10 Cloverfield Lane was, and Independence Day is my least favorite on this, and the one I like the most.
Let me guess.
Is a tie between Arrival and Rogue One.
I was gonna guess.
Did you see Rogue One?
I did not. I've not.
Oh my God!
I know. I'm dying. I'm dying to go see it.
And Arrival is kind of almost more of a drama than a science fiction film.
Right.
And you know what? I was thinking about this. I think science fiction films fall into two categories when they're about aliens.
Sci-fi horror.
No. Hold on.
Go ahead.
War of the Worlds and The Day the Earth Stood Still. Two science fiction classic films.
Sure.
Take place at the early dawn of filmmaking. So, The Day the Earth Stood Still is about an alien invasion where they come to better who we are because we're pieces of shit assholes.
Which is a true statement.
And War of the Worlds is where aliens come to destroy us.
Right.
So those are the two kind of alien invasion science fiction films.
And I find that they're done in one of two styles for the most part. It's either like slasher gross horror movie, like the new Alien,
which looks awesome.
It looks awesome, and it promises. I think it shows promise to be that way.
Right.
With a connection to possibly to Prometheus,
to the original Alien.
Yes, which would make a lot of sense of a lot of things. And you've got the sexy alien. What do they call those things? Alien.
Xenomorph,
yes. But it's either like gross slasher alien movie, or like and creepy like horror film thriller-esque. Yeah, thriller category of the sci-fi. And then there's your sci-fi action alien movies. Sci-fi action. So, and I think most of them fall in. Yeah, you've got your.
Well, look, Independence Day is your War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Arrival is your Day the Earth Stood Still. And you can kind of go over these and put them into those two categories.
Sure. Well, maybe a little bit more.
Like
a third category is like more of a drama.
Which is the Day the Earth Stood Still. Yeah.
So you have
but these are alien invasion movies.
Sure.
Not like we're already out in outer space.
Finding shit.
Right, which is Alien, which does not fall in those two categories at all. So Arrival's kind of more of a drama. Rogue One's kind of more of an action-y sci-fi. But those two were really good. Rogue One was really, really good. Almost a perfect movie.
Almost. Like a 9.5 out of 10.
Like a 9.9 out of 10. Like a 9.9 out of 9.999 out of 100.
That's big points.
Like, it's really good.
Now, you're not just saying that because you're a nerd, right?
No, because I hated The Force Awakens.
You know, a lot of people didn't like it, though.
No, I hated it.
You hated it.
I hated The Force Awakens.
Like,
I thought it was terrible. I thought it was boring and terrible and like one of the biggest letdowns.
So you hated it with actual hatred.
Yeah.
Not like I hated that movie because it was stupid. You hated it like actual, like
that's
you hate
amongst the many other
paying
reasons that I
taxes.
have. I thought it was terrible. I thought it was a terrible movie. I thought it was bad. That's all there is to it. And I thought Rogue One was fantastic.
Fair enough.
And I watched Passengers last week as well, which was one of the most recent, if not the last movie that I went and saw.
It's actually pretty recent. I think it looks good.
And the trailer is a bit, if not completely, misleading from what the movie actually is. And they have to do it that way because they make the movie look like it's kind of like there's something else going on, and it's like, why? What's going on? What's happening? But it's not. It's very straightforward. Andy Garcia shows up for 1 second at the end of the movie for no reason. if not just to put him into the movie trailer to make it look like it's more of a movie than just two people the entire time.
Is it?
Yeah.
Just two people the whole time?
It's just two people the whole time.
Wow.
Until the very end.
When Andy shows up?
No, Lawrence Fishburne shows up, and that's when the ball gets rolling on closing the movie out. But, like, they show Andy Garcia in the trailer, and literally that's like, Andy Garcia, 2 seconds, credits.
Wow.
It's just to make the movie look a little bit more padded than it is, but it's just the two of them, and the bartender's in it. And then Lawrence Fishburne shows up, and that's when they're like, oh, well, we gotta fix this shit. Like, there's a line in the trailer that I don't even think was in the movie, where she's like, I think there was a reason why we both woke up early, or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? I don't even think that's in the movie at all.
Wow.
Because there is a reason, and it's because the ship, do you mind if I spoil it?
No, go ahead.
The ship is...
Spoilers.
Ship's going from, like, Earth to another planet, and everyone's sleeping for 130 years.
Wow.
And it's just to recolonize another planet. People want to get away from Earth. So the ship's going to take 130 years to get from Earth to this new planet. About 30 years in, the ship flies through like an asteroid field. And some of them breach the hull. Don't fall asleep on me, okay?
No, go ahead.
I see you getting comfortable over there. Which kind of fucks up the system. It's like if I were to shoot bullets at your car engine.
Right.
Like if you were driving at me and I shot bullets at your car.
Right.
And it doesn't stop completely, but...
It doesn't work as well as it could.
Right. So, things start going bonkers. One person's thing shorts out and he wakes up, and that's Chris Pratt. And he's alone by himself for a year, fucking around on the ship in a Home Alone kind of situation. Right.
Playing with shit, eating all the rations.
Pretty much. Well, no, see, he can't because his wristband doesn't have the access to the better food, so he gets like the shitty food. And he's not able to figure that out, but he's able to go to the bar and drink whatever he wants because he talks with the bartender. And then he makes the decision because you can't reseal yourself up.
You can't go back to sleep on your own.
Mm-hmm. And so he's basically going to be awake for the next 90 years. Or,
until he dies.
Right, because there's still 90 years left of the travel time. So he's going to be awake until he dies. So he makes the hard decision to wake somebody up. And it's Jennifer Lawrence, who he's kind of into. You don't have any, like, weird creepy scenes.
Right.
He just, like kind of sees her, and then he makes the decision to wake her up.
Does she know this?
She finds out eventually because he tells the bartender everything.
Right.
And he's like, this is just between you and me. Don't tell anybody. And then he makes the mistake. And, this is that whole thing that we've talked about about like these kind of movies where, you know, technology is only as smart as the user who's using it. So it's going to do what it's going to do.
Absolutely.
And so he's talking to her at the bar, and he's like, you know, he throws out a line like, "Oh, there's no secrets between us," or something like that. And the bartender's like, "Oh, is that true?" He's like, "Yeah, of course." And then, you know, he walks away, and she's there by herself, and he's like, "Oh, you know, it's good to see you guys like this," because he had a really hard time deciding on whether or not to wake you up. You know, and that's where she finds out, and they get into a big fight until Lawrence Fishburne wakes up, and they figure out, okay, something got broke, and we need to fix it.
Or else everyone's going to die.
Or else everyone's going to die. So they fix it, and then they die. Like, you don't see them die, but they fix it, live happily, they decide to reconcile, and
right.
then it cuts to the end after they've been dead, and everyone's waking up, and they, like, plant plants in the ship. I don't know. It's but, I mean, it's just a straightforward movie where, like, something went wrong. They got to fix it.
Right.
All right. So that's the sci-fi. Drama. Miracles from Heaven was stupid.
Sounds stupid.
Do you know what it is?
I have no idea.
It's also one of those true stories where like a little girl had something like her intestines were twisted up or something like that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? And she falls into a tree.
And then she's all better.
Yeah. Rose really wanted to see it, so we bought it and we watched it, and so I own it. If you want to watch it.
Yeah, no, that sounds wonderful, Matt.
I thought it's like, it's not a terrible movie, but it's terribly boring. Light Between Oceans was a book that I read. It's a romance drama. Nothing fantastic. Sully is the plane movie with Tom Hanks, directed by Clint Eastwood. Mm-hmm. Once again, straightforward, fucking true story.
It is what it's about.
It is what it's about. Snowden is an Oliver Stone, true story movie. It is what it's about.
It's popular this year.
Every year, dude. Every year.
It seems like it's a lot heavier this year, maybe.
A lot of true stories.
Yeah.
Allied is the World War II movie with Brad Pitt and Marion
His wife's a
Cotillard.
traitor.
And you know what?
We're supposed to be.
That movie came out the same weekend that Casablanca came out in 1942, and it is trying so hard to be Casablanca. Have you ever seen that movie, the classic?
I have not seen the classic.
Well, I mean,
only because I haven't sat down to watch it.
I mean, it's considered one of the greatest movies ever made, and it is one of the greatest romantic films of all time.
Right.
And Allied is trying so hard to be Casablanca. Like, it's not even like...
Not even
like if I'd seen, if I hadn't seen Casablanca, I wouldn't know. But watching it, it's like, it's. I mean, it takes place in Casablanca at the beginning, and you can see it's trying to be another Casablanca without being the same subject matter. But it's trying so hard, and it's not covering any new ground whatsoever. And then Collateral Beauty was the Will Smith movie where his daughter dies, and he's writing letters to death, love, and time. You know what I'm talking about?
I know
Your phone is blowing up.
I know, it's unpopular right now.
And out of those, they're all about less than 50%, but they're not terrible movies. Allied, probably my least favorite out of all these. And I guess Sully was pretty good. Snowden was okay too. Snowden was scary.
Yeah.
Snowden was fucking scary.
Was it because of the subject matter or because of
the subject matter.
Yeah.
Like, because he's there and the guy is just, like, they can turn on laptop cameras without the light going on to let you know that it's on.
And it's scary because that's
true.
The kind of shit that they can
They're
do.
listening to us now.
They are. We have given them permission and full access to do so.
Right.
By broadcasting our drivel on the radio internet.
At least we know the government's listening to us.
Hey, I wish they would like or share the videos so we can get some more likes and shares.
Pass it on. We would like to get paid by YouTube to do a podcast program.
Absolutely.
But no, it was fucking scary. Just how, like, they knew everything.
How much access they
They
have.
fucking knew everything. There was nothing that no one could do without them knowing.
Yep.
Like, even if I were to go stand in the middle of the desert where there aren't anything around, they could look down from up above.
And they would have to want to be watching you do whatever it is you're doing.
Sure. Okay, so dramas was kind of lackluster. Dramas are kind of lackluster anyways, because they're just regular stories.
Here and there, there's a good one.
Right. So we'll see whatever gets nominated for Best Picture next year, for this year's set of films.
Sure.
And I've seen a lot, so hopefully I'll have seen all of them already. Horror films were better this year, but nothing that I really wanted to see. Conjuring 2, Rose made the conscious decision to want to see it because she doesn't really watch horror movies. She covers her eyes. But she knows that I love horror movies, so she was like, okay, I'll watch that. She won't ever watch like the gory shit that I like to watch. Right. But she was willing to watch this ghost movie. And Conjuring 2 was okay. Once again, true story. They show you the actual photos of the people at the end during the credits.
Oh, wow.
But once you go on and research the story, it sounds like it was all bullshit. Lights Out was based on a short horror film that was really, really good, where they turn the lights on and the ghost isn't there, and turn it off and it's there.
Right.
A full-length feature, good for him for making a short film and being given the opportunity to make a whole movie out of it. Don't Breathe was fun. I liked Don't Breathe a lot because I like the guy in it, the dude that wants to play Cable in Deadpool, who probably won't end up playing Cable in Deadpool.
Right.
But he's a blind guy, and it's kind of a fucked up movie. Look you're falling asleep and dropping your phone. But anyway,
it's 3 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, but last week you were fine.
Oh, I took a nap before I got here.
No, you got here right at the same time.
I took a nap at lunch.
You didn't take a nap at lunch today?
Yeah, I fell asleep for...
Fucking your phone.
I fell asleep for an hour last week.
Anyways, horror films. Then 31 was stupid, which I was hoping was going to be good.
That always blows when you get one I still haven't seen Jack Reacher or Jason Bourne. I've been excited for those since I heard they were coming out because I like those movies. I like action movies. I like shit.
Well, you probably won't be disappointed.
I won't be disappointed in the film,
Bourne,
but probably not.
But Jack Reacher was terrible.
The first one wasn't that good either.
It was a lot better than this one.
And that scares me.
It was a lot better.
Because the first one was like, okay, good action movie, not really a great movie though.
It was watchable.
Yeah.
So comedy. Now You See Me 2. I really didn't know where to fit that in. It's like a magic movie.
I've seen Now You See Me, the first one, which
I
actually
liked.
Fun.
It was a fun movie. Now You See Me 2 was just like...
Seemed like they were taking it too far, or taking it down the same road again.
Ghostbusters was terrible. Probably the worst movie of the year.
I've heard a lot of people...
You didn't see it? Your buddy didn't want to take you to go see that one?
We were gonna go see it, and
did he like it?
He was sick. I don't think so.
Yeah,
he didn't like any of the new Ninja Turtle movies. He didn't like the new Ghostbusters movie.
It was bad, dude. It was probably the worst movie of the year.
I had a hard time watching the trailer.
Ghostbusters.
The trailer was bad.
Yeah,
because you can tell in the writing and that told me that I really didn't want to spend the money to go to the theater to see it.
They were trying too hard.
Yeah, you can see
those are all funny people.
Absolutely, if you let them be funny. But they're not funny when you try to make them be funny.
Right, they're forcing it.
We've had this conversation before. You can't really write funny. You can write funny situations and hope funny shit happens, but you can't fake it.
You can't force it. No. War Dogs is kind of like a drama, kind of like an action movie, but I put it under comedy. Jonah Hill and Miles Teller.
Right.
And it's
they're like
directed by the guy that directed Hangover, Todd Phillips.
Right.
But this is a true story also. A lot of true stories this year.
I just said that.
Even horror has the fucking true story.
Even horror has the true story.
But War Dogs, out of these ones, was probably my favorite. Most watchable.
Sure.
Least favorite out of these is probably Ghostbusters, obviously. Yoga Hosers is the Kevin Smith movie. It's kind of a tween movie. I didn't get into it, but it was Kevin Smith. And Hail Caesar was the Coen Brothers film, which it seemed like it was a popular trend for older filmmakers to try and make like classic Hollywood films. Cafe Society by Woody Allen's also the same type of movie, which I didn't see. But Hail Caesar was like, it wasn't terrible, but I mean, it didn't seem very ambitious either.
Right.
Other than the fact that it was kind of ambitious to try and put that movie out in this day and age, where these younger audiences aren't going to get it, and there really aren't that very many older audiences who are still alive.
That's true.
And then the thrillers, Girl on the Train, I read the book, which was good. The Accountant, which was amazing. Inferno.
The Accountant looks good.
You didn't see it? It was fantastic.
It looks really good. And again, it's
Ben Affleck. It was the Batman movie that I wanted and hoped for. That I deserved.
it was what Batman should have been.
Inferno, which is the third movie out of Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons.
Was it a decent payoff? Did it finally pay the story off overall?
Each story is its own thing.
Sure. Did he die?
No. I didn't really like it either.
So it's like
I don't like those movies. I thought they're boring.
Yeah, I didn't care for them either.
Rose loves them.
I continually fell asleep during Da Vinci Code.
Every movie you go and see.
And Angels and Demons. No.
They're too long and they're too boring. I think I fell asleep during this one because
they don't move along fast enough for me.
Nocturnal Animals, which is another recent one I saw, which I really wanted you to see because it was fantastic and it's a discussion movie. And researching this, the guy that wrote the book, he writes books, or did, he's not alive anymore, to where he wants them to be discussed. So he would write a book so that it's not over once you're done reading it.
Right, so that you can get done reading the book and then
dissect it.
Yeah, dissect it and have a conversation about what it's about.
And Nocturnal Animals is very much that kind of movie.
Maybe we can have a discussion directly on that topic.
You need to see it. Whether you fucking go and
I'll have to go and
watch it somehow.
I'll have to hide in my closet with the iPad and.
Well, it's still in theaters.
Oh, is it still in theaters?
Yeah, so
okay. Well, then maybe I'll skip work one day.
You don't have to do that, but I mean,
kidding.
It's fantastic.
It's worth watching.
Oh, absolutely.
That's good to know.
And Green Room was the Patrick Stewart, Anton Yelchin film. Probably his last movie before Star Trek.
Yeah.
And that was a disappointment. I was hoping. You know which movie this is?
Yeah, that's the one where he's like a rich old man, I think, and no.
It's where like a band this kind of like garage band, like let's say Off Mentis. I
know those guys.
Off Mentis goes down to fucking racist Southern white supremacist bar to go play at.
Right.
And they walk in on somebody shot dead in the green room.
Oh, okay.
And they get stuck in a siege situation. Another siege film.
Right, true story.
This one's not a true story. But
people aren't going to know what the fuck to think about what we talk about half the time. True story. It's a true story.
But Patrick Stewart plays like the head of this white supremacist group who owns the bar that these bands go and play at.
Gotcha.
And it's a group of white supremacists, and even though there's no like people of color in the movie, but they're just a hateful group.
Mm.
And this band is kind of stuck in the green room, and they got to kind of shoot their way out without any guns against these white supremacists.
It's hard to do.
But the trailer looked fucking fantastic. Right. Like, there's going to be a lot of potential, but it kind of fell a little flat.
Sad.
And then the Neon Demon, which I want to do a run on this director. That's why I let you borrow Bronson and shit.
Okay.
Neon Demon's kind of fucked up. It's a real fucked up movie. Like, it's super fucked up. I don't want to tell you about it in hopes that maybe one day in the next 50 years you'll watch a movie that we can actually talk about.
Next week.
Rather than just talking about...
Next week we'll actually discuss a real movie.
This is not the Arnold Schwarzenegger podcast because I know you've seen all those.
Yeah, I don't even have to watch those. I can just cover those right off the top of my head.
Right. It would be nice to watch.
Next week we'll discuss actual movie that I have seen within the last week.
Okay.
If not more than one.
Okay.
Because I'm going to have 3 days off this weekend.
Yeah?
It's going to be awesome.
My weekend has already started. I'm off the next 4 days.
Well, look at you. You son of a bitch. What the fuck? What day is it?
Today's Wednesday.
I hope somebody took the garbage out at my house.
I don't even think the garbage man has come by.
Yeah, but by the time I get home, he will have.
Yeah, but he's usually done by now. But I fucking haven't.
Maybe he's not coming today. Maybe he said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm taking the day off.
I got an email from the waste management people saying, like, hey, the holiday is not going to affect
your service.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where's
my garbage service? God damn it.
Hopefully someone took your garbage out, right, Cory? Do you need to go? Do we need to wrap this up?
Yeah. Before I fall asleep.
How was your Christmas?
It was excellent.
How did the big present go over with the old?
It went well. The wife really enjoyed the stuff that I got for her.
She spit in your face. It's like, fuck this.
She said, what is this shit? No.
Take it back.
Take it back. I can't.
Give me the money.
They're closed.
They're fucking out of business. What was your son's big present? A black dildo?
Yeah. No, we got him a
transgender doll.
Trampoline.
Oh, that's right, the trampoline. Did you get him the little yoga trampoline?
We didn't end up doing that.
Oh, man.
But it would have been hilarious. It would have been worth it.
Fucking film him on the little trampoline.
I totally blew a fucking wonderful opportunity to fuck with my kid, but...
So you bought a legit big trampoline?
Legit 12-footer, yeah.
It's out in your backyard where the pool was?
Out in the backyard. Not necessarily where the pool was, but...
In the same spot, so now you can jump in the pool and fucking splash around.
That would be cool. Yeah.
That's good. What was your big present? What'd your mom get you this year?
My mom...
Did she fucking get you an RC car?
Yeah, actually, I got a really cool gas-powered RC car.
Oh, fuck.
No, not really. I did not. No, the wife got me a pretty cool watch. Like, the whole thing's made out of wood.
I'm wearing it.
I'm afraid to break it, so I don't want to wear it to work. But,
that's what I do.
It's the whole thing, the band and the case and everything is made of wood. It's made of zebra wood.
Okay.
So, I mean...
Zebra wood.
The links are, like, milled out of actual wood.
Okay.
Which is super cool. It's super lightweight. And it looks neat. And I got some books from a couple of authors that I really enjoy. There's the Day by Day Armageddon series, which is J.L. Bourne.
Jason Bourne?
Yeah.
Jason Louise Bourne?
Maybe. I really dig his shit. He's got a handful of books, I think 4 or 5.
From that series. And then another one that's kind of it's like an internet-only novella type short story thing. And another one, which I was actually surprised that I didn't even know this one was out or existed or was going to exist. They're zombie novels, by the way. Right, no one reads those.
I enjoy those. The other one it's the Morning Star Strain or some shit like that. And there's like a 3-book series. But the author died while writing the 3rd one.
Mm-hmm. You read the first 2?
I read the first 2, and then waiting for the story to pay off, the author died. And then the forums and everything, everybody's like, well, he passed away, and he was a relatively young man, apparently had a drug problem or something.
Oh, shit.
But...
Sounds like you.
His mom... the guy's... I'm gonna fucking kill you. This is why we can't have nice things.
The guy's mom.
The guy's mom. No, the guy's mom hired a ghostwriter to take his manuscript, what he had done, and to finish the book. And then I don't know if it was the same guy because I didn't compare their names, but
J.L. Bourne.
It's not the same guy. I don't fuck with you half as much when you're talking.
Oh, come on. This is good stuff.
It's wonderful stuff.
The alt-right finished your fucking book. The alt-right
finished the book, and then they went back to segregation. But, so anyway, the ghostwriter is finishing the series now. Not only did he finish the book that was left out, could have finished the series up in that book.
With that 3rd book.
Could have summed it up, because they're relatively short.
To make some more money off of
it. You know what? I think I would do the same thing.
Did you read it already?
I've read some of it, but even reading a book is hard to do right now.
Because you fall asleep.
I fall asleep and I work a lot right now. Mandatory overtime.
Is that going to be done with after the 1st?
I hope so. They're not making Saturday mandatory this week.
Because now they're cutting hours.
It's fine with me. I don't need the money that bad.
No, they're cutting my hours, motherfucker.
Oh, they're cutting your hours?
Yeah.
Hey, come work with us. We got overtime.
Well, I just might. I might come in there and work with you, and then switch over to second shift at JCPenney's.
There you go. It'll be fun.
So I could do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're hiring like gangbusters.
Would we work together directly?
Maybe.
Do you work with other people?
Kind of. Like, I work in the vicinity of other people.
Do you talk
But you don't,
to
like,
other people?
work directly with other people.
Do you talk to other people? Is this a
When it's
job where there's a
convenient.
lot of talking?
I mean, if you want to talk to somebody, yes. If you want to be talking to someone, you can.
You won't get
But
in
you
trouble?
don't have to. And
They
you're
allow
not.
it?
They allow it, yeah.
They allow you to
Like-
talk to each other?
I'm pretty sure that you could stand around most of the day and not do shit and not get in trouble for it.
Okay. Sounds like my kind of job.
Yeah.
Do you stand around and do nothing all day?
No, I work really hard to make everybody else look bad. As bad as I possibly can.
Okay.
And what did you get for Christmas?
I got this soundboard,
Very nice.
and I got another cube camera.
Oh, sweet. So we can do more action.
One that you can look on your phone.
Oh, is it
and
like
see
a
the shot.
Bluetooth?
It's Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Interesting.
So,
Super cool.
So it sends out a Wi-Fi signal, and my phone picks it up, and then
Nice.
I can look, and we can fucking point and shoot with that fucking thing
I
and
like
see
it.
the shot.
I like it.
Those were the big things that I got, which I knew I was getting, because people around here do not understand the fact that you can't even give me the shreddest,
Slightest piece of
because I'll
information.
figure it out.
I try not to figure things out because I'm good at it, and I know that if I,
That's the way my mind works.
yeah, I'm the same way. If I get a little teeny tiny piece of information, I'll figure it out. So I try not to.
It's not even like I'm trying to.
No.
My head just starts clicking and clicking and clicking.
And then you figure it out.
Right. Like, she showed me my wish list and was like, I thought there was other things on here. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, no, that looks right. And then I start remembering, like, oh, yeah, there are a couple of things missing from that. And lo and behold, is what I got.
Yeah.
Same with Leah. She was like, what size shoe do you wear? I went to Walmart and happened to see these things that are like, that's probably what she got. And it was. It's Pokemon slippers.
Nice. Are they Pikachu?
They're Charizard.
Nah.
She got herself Pikachu ones.
Bitch.
Tiger got a toy also.
Tiger.
What the fuck? Did you see that?
Oreo.
Fucking take that.
He's watching our back.
He's looking at the ghosts.
He's watching our back.
I got a couple other things. But that was it. Those were the big ones. Was the soundboard, which we need to get up and running so it wasn't a complete waste.
Yeah, no, we'll get it. Just takes a little bit of effort to, and maybe reading the user manual.
Which I have. I didn't throw it away.
I know. I'm just saying we might want to read it a little bit.
But it's in a language that I don't speak, so maybe someone like you might
English
understand it a little bit
or
more.
it's not
Tech savvy. I'm not super tech savvy. I can figure out basic stuff, kind of build from there, but when they want me to start at that end and work my way back, it's a little bit different.
Right.
So
with
with that, welcome or goodbye or see you later. Or
goodbye 2016.
Goodbye 2016. Fuck you.
And fuck your mother.
And hopefully 2017 will be a lot better. I look forward to podcasting in 2017. I don't look forward to having multiple jobs in 2017. I enjoy
the
not
alt-right
working.
will be at your back.
I'm also not looking forward to the alt-right in 2017. A lot of things I'm not looking forward to in 2017. Maybe we should just talk shit about Donald Trump on these podcasts, and that'll up our viewership.
That was weird.
It's because it's taped.
It's a distinct possibility that would actually work.
If we're like...
You know what we should guest star Ryan Kelly.
Do you think he would do this?
He would have a lot of terrible things to say about Donald Trump.
Did you ever, because, I never noticed another kind of response to this. I know you gotta get out of here, but this is one of those things, like, he posted something, and then I commented, and I tagged you, and I said, Cory, easily, this is what I'm talking about. Did you ever see that?
I did not.
Because I don't know if maybe he deleted it or deleted the comment, but he posted something when Castro died. Fidel Castro.
Okay.
one of the many souls taken from 2016. When Castro died, and he fucking commented something on there, like he posted a link,
yeah,
and then he's like, he said something, and then he mentioned something about even though so and so has really been running the country. How the fuck do you know that? You can't possibly know that.
Well, Fidel Castro hasn't actually been the boss of
Cuba
for a long time. Doesn't mean he's not running things.
Yeah, but who the fuck follows what's going on in Cuba?
I don't care.
Exactly, but he fucking posted some shit like he fucking was an expert on the subject.
It's his punditry.
Which is everything. He fucking... Sure. Which is what makes him super obnoxious. Like, I understand that I know a lot, but I try to not be a fucking obnoxious asshole about it all the time.
Unless we're alone. And then you can
like,
be an obnoxious
I'm very
asshole,
proud
man.
about how much I know, but I also know how not to be
overly
douchey about
douchey.
it. You know, I try to keep my...
Fiduciary.
Douchiary.
Fiduciary.
Anyways.
That's a real word.
Look, you fucking did it again!
That slipped out of my hand.
No! Phones don't slip out of people's hands.
Yeah, it does.
I hope you make it home. Look, you can't even pick it up.
I'm fat and fucked up. Leave me alone.
I hope you make it home okay.
You just said homo.
You make it homo okay.
I hope you make it homo, okay?
Try to make it homo, okay?
Yeah. Try to make it homo, no homo.
Hashtag no homo.
Hashtag no homo.
Hashtag, oh.
The garbage man's here. Huzzah!
All right, see you later.
Hashtag
Peace.
no homo.